Hey guys, good morning. Guys, can you see my screen? Just type S in the chat box if you guys are able to see my screen. Fine, great. So let's get started without any delay. Fine. Now I'm going to cover some topics on Java. Okay, so we initially started with Java and then I covered some commands from Selenium. Now let's move again to Java part. Fine. So as part of the Java, I'm going to cover array, string, wrapper classes, and exception handling. Okay. Fine. So let's get started. So coming to the first one, that is arrays, guys. Okay. Arrays. What are arrays? Just right click and create a new package here. Just name this as arrays. Okay. Arrays demo or arrays, whatever. Under this, I'm going to create a new class. Okay. So first thing is all about arrays, guys. In arrays, just say uh, one class one with main method I'll create. So guys, in Java, using arrays, we can store multiple values into a single variable. Okay. Can you store multiple values into a single variable? For example, if I declare a variable like this, into this particular variable, can I store multiple values? Can I store multiple values into this variable? Like for example, would like to store these values. This many number of values into a single variable. Is it possible? Even I provide this curly braces and all doesn't work out, guys. Okay, you see, Java is giving a compiler error, cannot convert from integer array to int, it is saying. Okay, what type of error? Cannot convert from integer array to int. So what I have to simply do is, if I want to store this many number of multiple values into a single variable, I have to declare this variable with not a just a small, not just as data type. I have to add something like this behind the data type. Now this becomes an array. Okay, this becomes an array. You see, the error is gone. Now you can store multiple values into a single variable because this is not in data type. It is an integer array. It is an integer array. Once this variable is declared with this integer array, we can store any number of values. Okay. So using arrays, multiple values of same data type can be stored into a single variable. And these arrays can be categorized as below, guys. Okay. Arrays can be categorized as below. That is single dimensional arrays, two dimensional arrays, and three-dimensional arrays. These are the three varieties of arrays we have. So in these three types, do we have to learn all the types for Selenium automation? Do we have to learn single dimensional, two dimensional, and three dimensional? The answer is no, guys. How many we have to learn? The first two types are enough. Single dimensional and two dimensional are enough. If you learn single dimensional arrays and two dimensional arrays, that is more than enough. Okay? You don't have to go beyond that. So first, let's start with the single dimensional arrays. Now you know the concept of arrays, which allows you to store multiple values into a single variable when declared with array type, right? I already showed you. So the next thing is single dimensional arrays. So let's begin. So how to create an array? From scratch, I'm going to show you how to create an array. Okay. So I have to declare the variable with int and let's say there is a variable. You are declaring that variable, let's say with int. Here into this variable, only one value I can store. But if I want to store multiple values, I have to provide the circular brackets either beside this data type, or the circular brackets can also be provided beside the variable. Anywhere it is okay. Some people provide this circular bracket beside the data type, and some people provide the circular bracket beside the variable. Both are fine, guys. Okay. But I prefer providing beside the data type. Why? Because while I'm explaining about this code integer array A, like that I can speak. Okay. If I provide the circular brackets beside the variable, still it is fine, guys. Okay. It's still okay. Okay. No problem in that. And also there is one more way, we need to create an object. Okay. We using the new keyword, we have to create an object for this integer array. Again, I'll just put this integer array after this new keyword, put a semicolon. Just still an error is coming. Okay. Integer array A is equal to new integer array. Why the error is coming means, here I have to specify how many values you want to store into this variable. You have to give the size of this array. Okay, once you give the size of the array into this square brackets, the error will be gone. Hover the mouse on this. Variable must provide either dimension, expression, or any array initializer or something. Okay, that means here I have to give some size. For example, I want to store not more than three values into this variable, which is declared with int data type, integer array data type. So three means how many values now I can store into this array? Everyone type in the chat box how many values I can store into this variable. When I mention three here, three values, right? That's correct. You can store three values into this array. But how to store? How to store three values into this array? That is, I have to give the variable name. Followed by the variable name, I have to give the square bracket. And in the square bracket, I have to give something. That is, I'll give 0. Why I'm giving 0? I'll tell you. 0 is equal to 9, let's say. A of, next one is 1. I'll give 1. 5. A of 2, I'll give 7. So total three values completed? Yes. These are the three values I can give. Right? This is how I can, initialize the values to this array. Fine. So I have demonstrated declaring, creating, assigning also. Now how to access? How to access these values? But before that, guys, you just need to understand something, okay? So if I remove all this stuff and I just write this statement like this, new integer array of 3, okay? For example, I'll start from the beginning, new int of 3. So, and here I'm getting an error saying insert assignment operator expression complete. It's asking me to complete the expression, okay? So I have to give some object reference and declare that object reference with integer, the same data type, okay? Integer array data type. Okay, why the errors are not going? Let me reopen. Fine, it's gone, okay? So fine. Now, once I create an integer array, using the new keyword, an object will be created for the integer array. So what happens in the computer memory? Just observe. So let's say this is a computer memory. In the computer memory, some memory will be reserved for this integer array. Some memory will be reserved for this integer array, guys. Okay. Some object will be created. Object one, I'll say. Or I'll do something like this one. Just give me a second. I'll draw in a better way. Not going off. Okay. I'll just do it again. Let's say this is a computer memory. In the computer memory, some memory, let's say this is a memory that got reserved for this object, integer array object. Okay. The moment you create an object for this integer array, some memory got reserved for it. And here, how many values we can store into this array? Three values. So this memory slot that is assigned for this particular object will be split into three parts. First slot, second slot, and third slot. Okay. First slot, second slot, third slot. So 0, fine, I'll tell you. Now, There are three slots here. There is a concept known as indexing. Indexing concept, okay? Since there are multiple slots in this object memory that is assigned to that newly created object array, okay, there's an indexing concept where first slot will fall into the index 0. Understand this, guys? Okay, there are multiple slots. We have to give some index value to, distinguish or, identify this slot separately. The first slot will have the index 0. Second slot of the array will have the index 1. And the third slot will have the index 2. Okay. So indexing starts with the value 0, guys. Okay. 0, then 1, then 2. Now, if I have to store some value into this memory slot of this array, I have to use the index. How to use the index? A of what I have to give, guys? Inside the square brackets, what I have to give here? Tell me. Yes, 0 I have to give. When I say A of 0, then assign some value, let's say 9. A of 0 is equal to 9. Okay. Integer array A is equal to new integer array. A of 0 is equal to 9, I'll say. The moment I give 9 here, 9 will be assigned into the A of 0. That means 9 will go here. Simple words. 9 will go here. That's it. Now, if I have to store some value into this slot where index 1 is there, I have to give what? A of 1, right? Is equal to, let's say, 5. So what will happen here? 5 will be stored in this integer array at the slot index 1. At the index 1 slot, the value 5 got stored. Now, if I give A of 2, then 7. 7 will be stored here. 7 will be stored here. 957. Okay. 957. Fine. So now, you know how to declare and create an array? How to assign the values to the array? Now, how to access? How to access? The way to access is system.out.println. If I want to access this value 9, what I have to do, guys? The 9 value is available at the index 0. So I have to access something like this. A of 0. That's it. There's a way to access the value 9. So what will be printed when I say A of 0? If I provide A of 0 inside this print statement, what will be printed here? Yes, you are right, guys. 9 will be printed. Now, if I say system.out.println A of 1, what will be printed here? 5 will be printed. This is a way to access the array elements. System.out.println. If I give A of 2, what will be printed? 7 will be printed. Right, guys, right. Now, if I run this code, 957 got printed as we expected. Okay. So here I have demonstrated you how to declare and create the array, how to assign the values to the array with the help of index and all, how to access the array. This is a single dimensional array. Whatever I am showing you is a single dimensional array, guys. Okay. So the code is also here. The same code, whatever I have demonstrated will be there. Okay. You see the same thing, right? Whatever I have demonstrated is also there in the notes for you. Okay. So yeah, that's good. So is it clear, guys? Is it clear? The single dimensional, if it is clear, just everyone type C in the chat box so that I can go to the next one. Everyone type C if it is clear for everyone. Yeah, great, guys, great. Now, there is one more thing, guys. Okay? There is one more thing. That is, there is shortcut representation is there for a single dimensional array. So here, how many lines? For example, if I say the size of this array is 3, how many lines I have to write in order to assign the values to the array elements? How many lines I have written here? If the size of the array is 3, 3 lines. What if this lines I don't have to give? I want to remove this line. Still, I want to assign this 957 to the index 0, 1, 2 of the array. Still, I want to do. Is there any way without this writing these 3 lines? Yes, there is a way, guys. There is a shortcut representation of the single dimensional array. So what I am going to do is I'm going to remove this part. This is the first way of creating an array. Some people will create the array like this and initialize the values like this and all those stuff. And some people, they'll not write this part. They'll remove that part and provide something known as curly braces. They'll provide the curly braces, guys. Inside the curly braces, whatever you want to store into the index zero value of the array, right? You'll provide that here in the first place, comma. Whatever that you want to store into the index one, 5, comma. Whatever that you want to store into index 2, 7. That's it. Now remove this. That's it, guys. Okay. 957. So have I removed that 3 lines that I have written earlier? This is a shortcut representation of an array. This is a shortcut representation of an array. It is equal to integer array is equal to new integer array of 3 and values are getting assigned. Okay. This is a shortcut representation of the array where I don't have to write multiple lines to assign the values to these different array elements. Now, does it work same? Yes, it will work same, guys. But I'll do one thing, guys. Okay, so I have to give you these notes and all, right? So for that reasons, I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this code. Let's put it here and just create a new class. Just for your case, I'm doing this, okay? Because I have to give at the end of the sessions, I have to give you the code. So the question is already coming. So what is the maximum number of values you can store into a single variable using array? You can store any number of values. There is no limit for that. Let's give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. No problem. This many number of values. No one will give, right? No one will give this much of size. So let's not think behind that. Okay. So you can give any number of values. Okay. There's no limit for that. Uh, any number, but maybe up to the data type store values. No, no, no. Data type is like, this one, if you are talking about, that has a limit because the data type int is there. It has a range of values that it can accept. This in individual values that you are assigning to the array elements, there is a limit. But the size, there is no limit, na? The size, there is no limit. You can assign any number of values to the array. But individual array, what's that? You got it right, Pushkar? What I mean to say? Yeah. Here there is a limitation for each and every array element. How much means in data type that allows that range only you can, whatever the int data type allowed range only that much size you can give. But the size of the array, if you talk about, that is different. Okay, you can give any number of any size you can give, no problem. Fine. Now shortcut representation I told you, right? Instead of writing these 3 lines, I'll just write down here. I replace this part with curly braces and provide 9 comma 5 comma 7, let's say. Okay. The same thing will happen if I run the code. I'll get the same output. 957. Done. Then let's move on. There is a length predefined variable for the arrays, guys. Okay. Length predefined variable is there to find the size of the array. Okay. So I'll create one more class. I'll just name this as 3 for now with main method and all. I'll create an array there. Integer array a is equal to. Here I'll write a good number of values 9, 5, 7. Okay. 2, 1, 3, 8, 4. Any other thing is missing? 6. Like this, some values I gave. Okay. Now, if there are a lot of values, and if I want to find the size of this array, how many elements are stored in this particular array, if I want to find, there is a variable in array, a predefined variable, guys. Okay. Till now we talked about predefined methods, right? Predefined methods we talked about wherever. But now for the first time, we are coming across a variable which is a predefined variable. This length is a predefined variable in arrays. So how to access that length predefined using the object reference of the array, you can access that. Okay. Array is an object, right? You see integer array A is equal to new integer array. That is actual representation. This is a shortcut representation. So you are not seeing int and all, but A is an object reference. You agree with me? So using that A, we can access the predefined methods of the array or predefined variables of the array. So if I say system.out.println, if I say a dot length, you see, using the object reference, I'm accessing the length predefined variable of the array. The moment I do that, what will happen? The size of the array will be printed in the output. Let's find it out first. Let's print it out and find what is the size coming up. The size printing as 9. Let's find it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Correct, right? We got the proper size. Using a dot length, we can find the size of the array. Okay? We can find the size of the array. Length predefined variable of arrays can be used for finding the size of the array. Now using for loop with single dimensional arrays. Next part is using for loop with single dimensional arrays. So here, I'll tell you. Yeah. That's the rules of Java file. Why index is starting from 0 means that's the rules of Java. Java has decided to, you know, uh, give the index kind of stuff. Okay. So where if you want to access the first element of the array, index will be 0. Okay. That's from Java. We cannot do anything else. Okay. Is that clear, Payal? Okay. We have to go according to the rules of Java sometimes. Okay. We cannot understand why Java has given index 0 and all those stuff. Okay. Fine. Anyhow, let's move on. 4. So here, I'm going to show you how to use for loop with single dimensional arrays. First, I'll show you something. Integer array a is equal to new int of, let's say 5. This time 5 I'm giving. Size of the array is I'm giving 5. If I want to initialize the values to this array, I have to give a of 0 is equal to, index 0 is equal to, let's say 9. A of index 1 is equal to 5. A of index 2 is equal to 7. A of 3, that is equal to, I'll give this as 1. A of 4, I'll give this as 6. Different values I give. That's okay. 5 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Now, if I want to access all these things, what I will do? System.out.println a of 0. 9 will be printed. System.out.println a of 1. 5 will be printed. System.out.println a of 2. 7 will be printed. System.out.println a of 3. 1 will be printed. System.out.println a of 4. 6 will be printed. 9, 5, 7, 1, 6. Okay.
Arun, can you print length also?
Yeah, we'll come there. I'll tell you where we can use length. Okay. We can print length also. There's no problem. Okay. If you try to print the length, it will say 5 because here clear 5 is there now. Okay. So fine. Don't worry about that for now. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting some
Arun,
questions.
in previous program, we just wrote like dot length only. We did not mention the braces. I'm getting confused, like
Hmm.
where we need to use that braces method or with like this dot length
No, no, no.
only.
You see, yeah, for length is a predefined variable of the array. So object reference you use this object reference dot length. But if you want to
Okay.
individually access the elements, then you have to use the braces. Okay. This is a of 0 in the square bracket 0. A of
Okay.
square brackets 1. This
That one
A of,
I got. Check the chat once. I have mentioned one message.
hmm.
There, to know the length of the string, we will write like str dot length of method.
Int len is equal to str dot length. That is string. String. You're talking about string, right?
Yes.
In string, there is no length predefined variable. In string, we have length predefined method.
Okay.
I
Here
use
it is
this
variable. In arrays, it is variable.
in arrays, it is a predefined variable, whereas in string, it is a predefined method.
Okay.
Here also, you are
Okay.
using the object reference only, right? For example, in str means that is object reference, right? String object reference. Str dot
Okay.
length you are writing, right?
Yes. Yes.
You are calling the method with the help of object reference. Here also, you are calling that particular length predefined with the help of object reference. Same thing. But for array elements, you have to give a of 0, a of 1 like that. Okay, got it?
Yeah, that one I'm getting, but getting confused with these braces only.
No
Curly
need
braces.
to get confused. Okay.
Okay.
So you see, just only one thing you have to keep out of your mind is only one thing. For array elements, square brackets will be there. For
Okay.
length predefined variable, directly you can access, right? With the help of object reference. The
Okay.
rule is only for the array elements. Why to mix it up with the length and all? Okay. Just
Okay.
keep it aside. That's what I mean to say. Okay. You'll get used to
Okay.
it. It's not a big
Okay.
deal. Okay.
Mm.
Fine. Okay, so then I'm getting some questions here. Let me go through the questions. Is there any difference in memory allocation if we declare, yes, two-dimensional array? I'll cover that. Okay. Okay. Rishi is asking me, is there any difference in memory allocation if we declare array using two different ways? No difference. Same way, same thing. You mean to say the shortcut representation and new representation, Rishi, right? From your question, I'm getting that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, both will do the same thing, same allocation. Either you go with the shortcut representation or the actual representation, the same thing will happen, okay, in the memory allocation. Is that clear, Rishi?
Yes.
Okay, Nagaveni, I already answered, right? In string, we have a length predefined. I didn't cover the strings for you, but I'll cover that. I'll stress out on that point later, okay? Curly braces means it is a method, right? Correct, push kar raha hai. Yes, right. So after length predefined name, there is some curly braces means that is a predefined method, okay? In string, I didn't cover the topic for you, but in string, we have length predefined method. But in arrays, we have length predefined variable, okay? Everyone knows that, right? How a variable looks like. For example, if I write something like this, integer a is equal to 9. Here, a is a variable or method. A is a variable or a method, guys. It is a variable, right? A is a variable. For example, if I write something like this, public void A, like this. Now, A is a variable or a method in this case. This A is a variable or a method. A is a method here in this case, right? That's simple thing. Right, correct. If Shiva Kumar is asking me, sir, if index starts from 0, then length would be 8, right? No. Length will not be 8. You see, length is a different thing. Like how many elements is length? Last elements index will be length minus 1. That is 9 minus 1, 8. You're talking 8 as the last elements index. 8 is the, Shivkumar, last elements index is 8. In that previous example, whatever I have taken, right? Here in this case, 0th index, first index, second index, third index, fourth index, fifth index, sixth index, seventh index, eighth index. So if you want to find the index of the last element, what is the length here? 9. 9 minus 1 is what? 8. Okay. Index 8, 6 is there. Got the idea, Shivakumar? Is it clear? Here, total number of elements that are stored in the array is nothing but length. That is 9 only. Okay, it's not 8. Okay. But last elements index, if you talk about, that is length minus 1, that is 8. The first element starts with 0, so length minus 1 will be the last index. Okay. Yes, right, Jilani Sheikh, that since index starts with 0, last element's index will be 8, so total length will be 9 only. Okay. There's no confusion in that. Okay, great. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I think this is clear so far. This is actual representation of the array where I'm assigning the values to the array and I'm accessing the values from the array. Let's run this and see whether we are getting a proper output or not. Okay, great. You see, I'm getting 95716 got printed as usual. But I don't want to write this many number of lines. One way to reduce the number of lines is that I can replace this part or not. How can I replace this part? What I have to do to remove these 5 lines and make the code shorter? What I have to do? If I have to remove these 5 lines, you have to tell me. No, that's not the answer. If I have to remove these 5 lines, what I have to do? Yes, Surya, you are right. We have to go with the shortcut representation of that. This is the actual representation of the array. I have to go with the shortcut race. Pushkar, you are also right. I have to remove this part and put curly braces. And in the curly braces, I have to give 9 comma 5 comma 7 comma 1 comma 6. Do I need these lines anymore? No. Remove that. You see, a lot of lines have been saved. This is a shortcut representation of the array. But still, I can reduce these lines also. Can I reduce these lines? How can I reduce this many number of, for every element, if I have to write a print statement, that's a good sign, or it's tomorrow 100 elements will be there in this, stored in the array. Do I have to write 100 print statements? Does that look good if I write 100 print statements? No, right? We have to use for loop, right, guys? Okay, we have to use for loop, guys. The best way is for loop. Okay, I want to get the output in the same manner, 95716 only. Okay, then I have to use for loop only, right? How to use a for loop, I'll tell you. For, I'll write int I is equal to, index starts from where, guys? Array index starts from where? 0. So I'll give 0 here. I is equal to 0, semicolon. You just need to understand why I give 0 here, because index of this element starts with 0. I is equal to 0. I less than, I less than the length of this array. Why I'm saying I less than means last index will be what? Length minus 1 or not? Last index will be length minus 1. So if I give I less than length, I less than length, that will be correct only, right? I'm not saying I less than or equal to. I am saying I less than length means last but one element only, right? Length minus 1 only, till length minus 1 it will iterate. I less than length I am giving. So how to find the size of this array? How to find the length of this array or size of the array? What I have to write here to find the size of the array? Yeah, direct length. Is this correct? Yeah, Nagwani is saying a dot length. Again, minus 1 is not required. Already I mentioned less than symbol here. If I said less than or equal to, a dot length minus 1 is correct, Nagwani, but here I said less than only. Less than a dot length. That will be enough, na? I said I less than only. I am not saying I less than or equal to. It will not consider the last value anyhow. Like it will not consider 9 anyhow, because less than a dot length means up to 8 only it will go. If there are 9 elements, I'm just talking about here, total how many are there? 5 are there. So it will start with 0, and a dot length means here 5. I means I is equal to 0 to I is equal to 4, it will go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Enough, right? Less than symbol is there. If I say equal means up to 5 it will go. That is the problem. Okay, you have to understand the logic. Then semicolon I plus plus. So here I am providing the length of the array. Curly braces. And here inside that I'll provide a print statement. Inside that, I'll provide the print statement and write down what I have to write here. A of what? I have to give A of 0 or A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4. Can I give any of those things? No. What I have to give, guys? Everyone type. What I have to give? In place of inside this, you know, circular brackets, what I have to give? If I give I is initially 0, then it will become 1, in 2, and so on. So it's I of 1, A of I, right? That's correct. I don't need this many print statements anymore now. Able to understand this logic, guys? Right, great. So integer array A is equal to the shortcut representation. You see the code looks very simple. I don't have to write so many number of lines that I have written earlier while beginning this program. Right. So how this for loop will work? Integer I is equal to 0. I will become 0 first. The value of I is 0. I less than is 0 less than a dot length. What is a dot length? 5, right? 0 less than 5. Correct. So we'll go inside the for loop. Here system dot out dot println a of 0. What is a of 0? What will be printed, guys? A of 0 means a of 0. The first value 9 will be printed. Right? 9 will be printed. That's correct. After that, control will go to I plus plus. The value of I will become from 0 to 1 it will become. So 1 less than 5. Again correct. Go inside. A of 1. Then 5 will be printed. Then I plus plus I will become 2. 2 less than 5, a of 2. 7 will be printed. Then I plus plus 3, I will become 3. 3 less than 5, still correct. A of 3, A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3. 1 will be printed. Then again I plus plus, I will become 4. 4 less than 5, again true. A of 4, A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4. 6 will be printed. Then I plus plus, I will become 5. 5 less than 5, true or false? 5 less than 5 is true or false? What do you say, guys? 5 less than 5. 5 is not less than 5, right? 5 is equal to 5. 5 not less than 5. So we'll come out of the for loop. So using this for loop, are we able to access all the elements of this array or not? Are we able to access all the elements of the array? Yes. Clear with this program, everyone? How to use for loop with arrays? If everyone is clear so far, just type C in the chat box. If you guys are clear so far, just type C in the chat box. Okay, I got a question. There are two methods, length and size, right? Is there any difference? So, okay, Priyanka, where do you mean actually? Where do you mean this length and size? In the arrays, you mean to say? If I say a dot length,
No,
this
I
is
don't remember actually, but in one of my code, I use size as well. So I'm getting confused when
a
to
dot
use
size is
size.
not there for arrays, but
Okay.
maybe you're talking about is collections.
Okay.
If in collections we have one topic, okay. Um, what do we call that? In collections we have different stuff like something similar to array is there. Okay. In
Okay.
collections we have something like okay, collections alternative to array, that is called as array list. Okay.
Array list.
Array list. We have something known as array list in collections. Okay. You may be getting confused with array and array list. We are
Yeah,
not there
yeah.
with array list. So we'll go for collections anyhow. Okay. So you see in collections, right? When you create an object for the array list and all, you will get the size method will be there. Okay. You see, there are three things, guys. Okay. You have to just in case of arrays, in order to find the size or length of the arrays, we have length predefined variable. In arrays, we have this. For example, if you go with string, and if you want to find how many letters or what is the size of the string text that you have given, then we have length predefined method in strings. Okay. And if you go with the collections and array list kind of stuff, collections or array list, whatever you call. Okay. Then we have size method. Okay. This thing you have to remember. There's no other way. Okay. To find the size of the array list, size method is there. To find the size of the string text, the entire string text, how many characters and all in the given string text, length predefined method is there. In array, we have length predefined variable. This is a variable, this is a method, this is a method. Okay. And is it clear, guys? Is it clear? So these things are coming up. The string length predefined method, array, size method that are coming up. Have not covered it. I'm going to cover later. But for now, we are with length predefined variable. Okay. And Pushkar is asking me, we can use size when validating any web element, like by storing it into a variable. And that is collections only. Okay. You are applying Java concepts in Selenium. Okay. So let's not go there, Pushkar, for now. Okay. I have to explain some find elements, commands, and all those stuff. At that time, it will be covered anyhow for you. Okay, Pushkar? You are right, Pushkar, but I'll cover that during the, Selenium concepts again. How the collections will we use in Selenium. Okay, that I'll cover. Fine. For now, clear, na? Everyone clear with this difference? If you don't want to understand, just ignore this. But people who already have some pre-existing knowledge, right? This is the case. Okay. For now, just focus on this part, length predefined method, variable. Don't compare that with length predefined method or size for now, okay? Anyhow, fine. So I think this is good. Good to go. Let's go with the next one. Now, instead of for loop, I'm going to use something known as for each loop. Till now, did I explain for each loop for you? Anywhere? Till now, did I cover for each loop? In the concepts, I didn't cover for each loop. Why? Because for each loop, if you want to use, we have to either use with arrays or collections. Type in the chat box, guys. For each loop can be used with only two items. One is arrays, other one is collections. Type in the chat box. Only arrays and collections for each loop. Yes, type the same, arrays and collections. I want everyone to remember this. You cannot use for each loop with other elements. If you want to use for each loop, you have to either use it with, you know, yes, yes, you are right, guys. Right, right. Properly, you're typing in the chat box. Great. Hope you remember that now. So we are going to use for each loop. That's the reason. You see, when I was explaining the flow control statements, and in first type of statements were like, decision making statements like, okay, then second was iterative statements, right? That one was transfer statements. In the iterative statements or iterative statements, whatever you pronounce. In that, whatever the loops I covered was while loop, do while loop, for loop. And there was one more loop known as for each loop. At that time, I told you, I'm going to cover that for each loop when the arrays concept comes, because for each loop can only be used with arrays and collections only. Fine. Now the arrays concept has already begun. So instead of using for loop, wherever there is a possibility, we'll use for each loop. So if I give you an option of using either for loop or for each loop, which one you have to choose? When you are working with arrays, there is a possibility that you can either use for loop with arrays or for each loop with arrays. Which one you have to give the preference? Both you can use, but which one you have to give the preference? For loop or for each loop? For each loop, guys. Okay. Whenever we are working with arrays, give the first preference for each loop, not for loop. Okay. Because for each loop is designed for arrays and collections. Okay. If there is something like that. Okay. If there is something like that. Why not to give that? Okay. Why not to give that, right? So using for each loop, we have to do that. Fine. We have to give first preference to the for each loop. Fine. So let me write one more code where I'm going to demonstrate for each loop. Say 5. Integer array A is equal to new integer array of, let's say 5. Array of, otherwise I'll not give like this. I will use the shortcut representation because it will save my time. 9, comma 5, comma 7, comma 1, comma 6, let's say. Okay, the same values I'm giving. Now I don't want to use for loop. I want to use, yes, for each loop is better for arrays, right? And it's kind of, more compatible or more suitable for arrays, okay? It's not, you see, either use for loop or for each loop, it doesn't make any difference. But for each loop is born for arrays and collections. When there is something that is specially created for the sake of arrays and collections, why to go for normal for loop? Both will give you the results, no problem. But for each loop will make your job more easy. The way you are creating the for each loop, okay? No, no, no. It's not like faster or so. For loop works faster for each loop. But the way you are writing the for each loop will be very easy. Okay, you don't have to find the size of the array. Okay, you see here in normal for loop, I have to give the index value 0 here. I have to give the size. I have to find the size of the array using a dot length. All these things I have to do, right? I have to do all these things. I have to say I plus plus. All these things I have to do. But in for each loop, it's not required. It's a more sophistication stuff you can say rather than saying that it's speed and all. More sophisticated, more easier way to create a loop for arrays. Simple. Here also same keyword for will be there. Circular brackets similar to for loop will be there, and starting of the for loop, ending of the for loop will all this is similar to the for loop only, right? So far, for circular brackets, starting of the for loop, ending of the for loop, everything is same so far. But inside this circular brackets, you are not going to write all these three things. This, initializing part, condition part, declare this incrementation or decrementation part, you are not going to write. Then what you are going to write here? Inside the circular brackets, what you are going to write? For circular brackets, in this, what you are going to write inside the circular brackets. Here, the thing is different. Okay. Here, what you have to write depends on, I'll tell you guys, just focus on what I am trying to teach. Here, first you have to find out individual elements in this particular array of which data type. Can you tell me? For example, if I take 5, this particular element is of which data type? Individually. Individually int data type. So that int data type I have to write. You should not take integer array here. Here you have to focus on array elements where each and every array element individually is of which data type? Int data type. That int data type you have to write here. And say you can give any name here. I'll just give I colon symbol you have to put, and after the colon symbol you have to give the array. Whatever the array is there, that array. This is what is the syntax of the for each loop. That's it, guys. This is syntax of the for each loop. So what happens in this case is, here inside this, I'll write system.out.println. I'll print this I. That's it. So in this for each loop, do I have to find the size of the array? Using a dot length, do I have to write that? No. That got reduced, right? I don't have to find the size of the array. Do I have to give the index value as 0? Int I is equal to 0, do I have to write here? No. Do I have to increment or decrement? Do I have to increment or decrement here? Incrementing, I'm doing I plus plus or something here? No, right? No, I'm not doing anything. But simply I'm just writing something like this. I'm just finding out each and individual element independently is of which data type, int data type. Okay. After that, I'm giving some variable. It's a temporary. You can give t also, I also, doesn't matter. I'm just giving I.
Arun,
Yeah.
in print statement, you just wrote like I.
Hmm.
Don't we need to write like A of I?
Not required here. That's what. So here I'll say t otherwise. Okay. If you are getting confused, I'll give t here. Okay. So it's not about, you see what's happening. You will understand that why I'm giving this I or T here, I'll tell you. Okay. So what happens, how this for each loop works is, when the for each loop starts, this for each loop will check how many elements are there in this array. So are there any elements available in the array? Yes, 9, 5, 7, 1, 6. In that, what is the first element? In that 9, 5, 7, 1, 6, what is the first element? 9, right? So 9 will be assigned to T. First element of this array, that is 9, will be assigned to T. And since there is an element that got assigned to T, immediately will go inside the for each loop. And here T, what is T? 9. 9 will be printed. Here 9 will be printed. After that, again, for each loop will check after 9, what are there any other remaining elements left in this array? Yes, these are the remaining elements that are left in the array. In this remaining elements, what is the first element we have? What is the first element, guys, in this remaining elements? 5. So 5 will be assigned to T in the second iteration. And then we'll go inside this for each loop. And T will be printed as what? What got assigned to T? 5. So 5 will be printed. Then again, here, any other elements remaining in this particular array. These are the remaining elements. In that, what is the first element? 7. 7 will be assigned to T. And when you print T, what will happen? 7 will be printed. Then any other elements remaining in the array out of this 1, 6, first element will be assigned to T. And since one element is assigned to T, we'll go inside the for each loop and 1 will be printed. Then any other elements left out? Yes. In that, what is the first one? 6. 6 will be assigned to T. 6 will be printed. And any other elements left out? No. Since no other elements left out, we'll come up with this for each loop. Now is it clear why we are printing T or I? You can provide any name here. That doesn't matter. Okay. Clear, guys? T means temporary variable kind of stuff. I'm just want to. Okay. give that name, or you want to give E or B or C or whatever you want to give, you can give, no problem. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear for everyone? Any doubts? Any doubts in how to use for each loop? Okay, great. So this is what is for each loop. What do you think, guys? When I compare this for loop with for each loop, which one looks easier? Which one looks more compatible or more suitable for arrays? When I talk about for each loop, right? Definitely for each loop. You don't have to find the size of the array. You don't have to start int I is equal to 0, I plus plus, all those things you don't have to write. Directly you write this. Just find out each and individual element you take, what data type it is. Every individual element is in data type here. So I type that in here and provide some temporary name here. Put a colon symbol separated by the array name and go inside the for loop and print the T. For every iteration from this array, some first value will be assigned to this T, and from the remaining elements, next value, next value, next value, that values we are printing. So this is what is a for each loop, guys. Using for each loop with single dimensional arrays, I demonstrated already. No, 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 that's not possible, right? If you try to do so, that Java will give you a compiler error. Duplicate local variable. Okay, you cannot give that. Fine. Vijay, that's not possible. Okay. Okay. So then what? Then the last item for this single dimensional array that you need to understand is there is an exception known as array index out of bounds exception. What is this exception? Array index out of bounds exception. Okay. I'll cover this array index out of bounds exception again in exception handling mechanism topic. Here you see we have these topics: arrays, strings, wrapper classes, and the last topic we have is the exception handling mechanism. This will take some time. This topic will take some time. Now currently we are in arrays part. Okay, but but as part of the arrays, I have to cover this. When do we get this kind of exception? I'll cover as part of the arrays. Okay. For that, I'll just create one more class. I'll just say 6. So here, let's say I'm going to create an array, integer array. A is equal to new int of 3 I am giving. Now if I give a of 0 is equal to 9, a of 1 is equal to 5, a of 2 is equal to 7, then a of 3 is equal to 1. Is it okay, guys? The size of the array is how much? What is the size of the array? 3, right? The size of the array is 3. Right, you are right. It's 3. So the size of the array is 3. But here, am I assigning 3 values or 4 values? 4. Will Java accept that? Will Java accept that? If it is not accepting, why it is not giving me a compiler error? Is Java giving me a compiler error when I try to assign more values behind the size of the array? Is the Java giving me a compiler error? Java is not giving me any error. You see, while I'm writing the code, Java compiler is not giving me any compiler error saying that you cannot store more than 3 values into this array. This line you remove and all those stuff. Right? You see, even though Java compiler is not giving you any error, if you try to run this code, while running the code, you are going to get a runtime error. An error will come during the runtime. Okay? That runtime error, the error which comes in runtime when we run the code is nothing but a exception. We call such kind of errors as exceptions. While running the programs, while writing the code, if you are not getting Java compiler errors, but when you run such kind of code without Java compiler errors, but that code is resulting in errors while running the code. During the running of the code or execution of the code, if that kind of errors are coming, that errors are called as what? Exceptions. Exceptions are nothing but what? Runtime errors. Okay? Errors are nothing but runtime errors. Array index out of bounds exception. Why we got this runtime error? There is a problem in the program. Index 3 out of bounds. The size of the array is 3. Okay? The size, you see, length of the array or size of the array is 3. But at line 12, you are trying to assign the fourth element into the array. Even though the size of the array is 3, you are trying to assign fourth element into the array. That's why you are getting array index out of bounds exception. Okay, if you run this code, you are going to get array index out of bounds exception. Why? Because, okay, line, we will get array index out of bounds exception. Okay, array index out of bounds exception. Why? The size of the array is 3. You are trying to store more than, uh, you are going to store more than 3 elements into the array. That's why the size is, we are overloading in the size. That's why we are getting array index out of bounds exception. That's fine. Now I'll create one more class, say 7. I'll give you one more example of array index out of bounds exception. That is, here I'll write down. Compiler error, as per the rules of Java, Java will not give every time compiler error. That you will understand later. Okay. In some cases, Java will not give you compiler error. Okay. Only, the syntax kind of stuff, Java has some rules. But not everything Java will give you compiler error. There are some limitations for Java compiling. Okay. Where Java will not do everything for you. Java compiler will not do everything for you. It will not detect all the each and every minimum things. Just some basic things it will detect you. There are some things that Java compiler will not tell you, but while running the code in the output, you will get some kind of errors. Based on that, we'll find it out. Okay. That topic we'll cover in the, that topic I will cover in the exception handling mechanism. Okay, Rajkumar? Why no compiler error you are saying, na? So I'm saying that, okay? Java compiler will give you a lot of compiling errors, but not everything can be compiled and given you some errors by Java compiler, okay? There are some limitations there, okay? Okay, fine. So here, again, I'm creating an integer array, a is equal to new int of, otherwise I'll simply give the shortcut representation of the array. I'll give 9, comma 5, comma 7. Either you can give the actual representation or shortcut representation, up to you here. Now I'm writing some system.out.println a of 0. What will be printed? 9 will be printed. System.out.println a of 1. What will be printed? 5 will be printed. System.out.println a of 2. What will be printed? 7 will be printed. Okay. 9, 5, 7 got printed. Okay. 9, 5, 7 got printed. Now, 9, 5, 7 got printed. That's fine. Now, if I say system.out.println a of 3, what will happen? Tell me, guys. Will anything will be printed here when I say a of 3? Okay. So what will be printed then for a of 3? Here only 957 is there. So for a of 3, nothing is there. But what will be printed? Okay. Some people are saying that it will print null. Maybe it will print null. Okay. Some people are saying that it will give an exception. It will give an exception, guys. Okay. Array index out of bounds exception. Okay, array index out of bounds exception will come at this line because the size of the array is only 3. You are trying to access the fourth element of the array which doesn't exist. If you try to do so, you'll get array index out of bounds exception. Run this code and in the line 12, you will get that exception. You see, after printing 957, the line 12, Java line 12, you see, in the class name 7, line 12, you got an exception, that is array index out of bounds exception. The size of the array is 3, which you're trying to do something behind the size of the array. That's why you're getting array index out of bounds. This is another example of getting array index out of bounds exception. When you try to assign some values behind the size of the array, or when you try to access the elements behind the size of the array, you're going to get which exception in Java, guys? Everyone type in the chat box the exception name that we get in the arrays. What is the exception name that we'll get in the arrays? Everyone, to remember, just type in the chat box the exception type. Array index out of bounds exception, right? Correct. Okay, fine. Great, great. That's great. So, fine. Now we have two-dimensional arrays. Okay. Now we have two-dimensional arrays. I may not be able to explain the entire two-dimensional arrays concept today. Okay. Why? Because the time is limited. Okay. We just have like, 6 more minutes to wind it up, and I have to go with the doubt sessions and all. Rather, I'll pick this topic tomorrow. That will be good, right? Shall I do it tomorrow, guys? Two-dimensional arrays concept. That will be better, right? Freshly, I will start tomorrow. This two-dimensional arrays. Okay. No hurries, right? Then we have strings concept that I have to cover. Then we have wrapper classes. Then we have exception handling mechanism. Okay. The important topics only I'm covering, guys. Okay. I'm not covering in-depth topics of Java. Fine. So I'm covering important topics only. Okay. Fine. Great. So any doubts, any questions? Guys, any doubts, any questions? Yes, we use in real time, we use two-dimensional arrays. During frameworks and all, or during data-driven framework, there may be possibility that we may have to use two-dimensional arrays. Most of the cases, we'll use single-dimensional arrays. And collections, mostly we'll use collections, guys. Okay, over arrays, collections are better. I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay, so whenever situations comes, we generally go with instead of arrays, right? Array list from collections will go. But we need the knowledge of arrays. Sometimes we'll use arrays. Sometimes we will use array list. Okay. Yes, tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, as I told you, right? Are you guys attending the live thing, side hustle project? You guys are attending? How many of you are
Yes,
attending?
sir.
Type yes. So tomorrow I'm taking that as an additional thing, right? So same timing, Nagmani. Okay, same time. No changes. If you guys are attending, that's great, guys. Okay. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, whoever is available, try to attend, guys. Okay. Same link. I don't think so. Same link. I'll try to create a different link for that. I'll post that link in the Telegram group. If any changes are there, I'll try to post that link in the Telegram group. Otherwise, using the same link you can access. Okay. We'll decide and tell you. Okay. In the WhatsApp group and Telegram group, we'll ping you. No worries. Okay. About the link and all. Fine. But at same time tomorrow, if I don't share any link, join at the same link. Okay. If I'm not sharing any link, join at the same link. If any changes, I'll ping you. Otherwise, join at the same link. Okay. Tomorrow, same time. Yeah, fine. Great. Any expectations? Anything you want to talk or any doubt you have? Just we have time, guys. Okay. Yes, tomorrow first session, Rishi. Right, correct. Tomorrow is going to be our first session. Okay, so that we are going to work together as a team. Okay, it's not just I am teaching you and you are just learning. It is a both ways. Every one of us are going to work on this. Okay, everyone are going to work on this and take this seriously and get that crack that challenges and do some lot of R&D. Okay, you will get a feel of like how to do R&D. When you're put in a project and you are facing some problems, what you guys do? You have to face the challenges, right? How you are going to face the challenges that we are going to see in the live sessions. Okay, that's what makes the difference. Here, this is almost one way, right? Here, like in the weekday trainings, I'm just teaching you, right? But there, we have to help each other. Even you guys have to help me. In some cases, I'll also get struck. Okay. Priyanka is saying, can we start this batch early, daily 2 hours? This weekday batch? You mean weekday batch, Priyanka?
Yeah, this batch, Arun, I'm talking.
I can start if you want. We can start at 6:30 is fine with me. But I want everyone to be okay with that.
It will be difficult for me, Arun. I need to
Yeah.
cook and attend the class.
Yeah, that's what Priyanka, that's what happens. You know,
Yeah.
don't worry. Why to hurry, guys? Okay, we are going well, right?
Mm.
So there is
Yes.
nothing, right? I'm taking good time in explaining. I'm not in a hurry to finish up the batch. So why you are worrying? Okay. So let's go in this way. Sometimes we'll take to 1.5 hours. Anyhow, we are taking that. I'm taking sometimes, till 8:15 I'm taking. That's okay. So and also live sessions we are covering on weekends. Okay. So no need to worry much. In the coming days, we'll try to plan this software testing. Manual part also we can take on weekends and we can cover up the things. Okay. No need to worry. Okay. We'll try some plans. Okay. Don't worry. Let's let it go like this smoothly and lot of doubts I'm clearing. I'm very happy that you guys are asking me a lot of questions and I'm able to explain them in a clear way. And I'm also getting a replication that you guys understood that. Okay, that's the main point of the sessions, right? So guys, and
Sir.
also yes. Yes, Shivakumar. Yesterday there was it's not a class, but it's a Shivakumar is asking me actually in the chat, direct message you put it to me. So he's asking me like, was there any class yesterday evening? It's not a class, it's a demo session. I would like to join more people into this batch. Okay. So I was talking about two initiatives for them, the same two initiatives that our batch is going through now, weekday initiative and weekend initiative. In weekend initiative, it's all about, live automation thing. Okay, real time application automation side hustle project. And weekday was explaining that we are going with trainings. Okay, for the new people who want to join. And also, guys, I want one help from you guys. Anyone from your circles know someone can join our batch. I know that you guys are very impressed or something. I'm just saying from my side that I think you like my teachings. If you like that and all, and if you want your friends and circles to be part of our this group and all, kindly explain them and tell them that these things are going well and have them in our batch. Okay, they also will get benefited. Okay, if you find anyone surrounding you today or the coming days, kindly spread the message and ask them to join this. Okay, because here we are not just about training, right? We are just about our the initiatives and all I'm taking on, and I'm trying all my level best in guiding you and all. More people, more guidance I can give you, more focus, more quality. Okay, more support, everything. It is paid, okay. It's paid. Either they can join the weekend initiative or weekday sessions. Only one thing they have to pay for. Remaining is free for them. Okay. For example, if they have opted for weekend live side hustle project thing, they have to pay for that. But weekday trainings, they are eligible for free. And if they have joined for weekday trainings and they are automatically the weekend initiative is free for them. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to upload on YouTube and also I'll put that in the Telegram group. Okay. Today I'll try. Today I'll try to do that. Okay. Today, today I'll try to do that as soon as possible. Okay. Maybe I'll just post that in the Telegram. Even in WhatsApp group also I'll post. Okay. Simple. There, what I have explained is that not only these initiatives, guys, in the coming days, I'm going to add up more initiatives. Like a lot of people were asking me about API and mobile automation and all those stuff. Okay, so that initiatives also I'll give you for free, guys. No need to pay anything. Okay, in the coming days. Okay, so our training curriculum will become more big, just with affordable price. I would like to take you guys through that level. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, so don't think that I'll stop here. I want you guys to continue. Okay, I'm going to give a lot of benefits. It's not just about pricing, or it's not just about, training and completing the training and starting new batch. It's all about giving service to the people who have trusted me and joined this batch. Okay, I want to do a lot for you guys. So be there. Yeah, everything I will cover up, but it will take some time. Okay, be with me. Okay, we'll announce initiatives, and whenever I announce that modules and initiatives, right, you can directly jump in without paying any money. Okay, the same amount you can do. Okay, whatever the initial amount you paid and joined here, right? Because I wanted serious people to be part of me. That's the only reason. Okay, remaining all, I'll do it.
Sir, one doubt is there, sir. I have seen one screenshot, sir.
I'm just opening the screenshot. Let's open up. Can you see the screenshot? It's loading, it seems. 1 minute.
Sir, when I install Java, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have to click this next step also?
Java SE development kit. No, close. Just simply click on close. Just click on close button.
Fine,
Is that
fine.
clear?
Okay.
Close.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
installation is completed. It's successfully installed. No need to do anything else. Just click on close.
Okay, sir. Okay.
That's
Okay.
the only doubt.
Yeah, that's, sir. Once it is done, right, sir?
Mm.
So this will be there in in my programming files, right? This.
Yes, yes. You have installed 64-bit anyhow. It will be there in the C drive program files folder. Java folder
Okay,
will
sir.
be there. That it will be there.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir.
Fine. So thank you guys. Thank you for such nice words, Rajkumar and all. So, but I want one more thing from you, like add more people, guys. Okay. If you add more people from your friend circles, if you can get into these batches and all, right, I can give more service from my end, because that will motivate me basically. Okay. More people are there, more motivation I'll get. Okay. That's the only thing I can ask from you in return. Okay. Not asking you money and all. But if you want more services from me, in this less price and all, I want more people. Okay, because now we have good number of people, I am doing this stuff for you, right? I'm taking good time doing clearing stuff and live side hustle project and all creating. Tomorrow more initiatives I'll take. Okay, it all depends on you guys. Okay, please add from your friend circles, bring more people, and divert them to Javed. Okay, Javed will help them in enrolling that and all those stuff. Okay, so that's the thing. So today, anyone joined new? Anyone is new to this batch? They have joined today. Guys, anyone joined today? Anyone, a new member? Anyone is a new member in this batch? Just attended sessions today for the first time. Looks like no one. But I got a message. Okay, maybe they have enrolled for weekend live sessions. Maybe. Okay, fine, no problem. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Anywhere you are struck? Hope everyone is doing well, right? Everyone is able to do the assignments and all, right? No problems, nothing so far. Any problems? Anything you want to ask me? This is the right time, guys. Okay, I'm there. Anything is bothering you or anything you want a help from me? This is the right time, guys. You can ask me. Okay, fine. Yeah, welcome, Mahesh. Yeah, someone is asking me, it seems. Yeah, yeah, Rajkumar. You want to ask anything? I'm not able to hear you properly, Rajkumar.
Uh, is it okay now?
It's better, better.
Okay. So submit command is there, right? It is applicable only for a form. I try to apply for a button. It throw me an error. It's applicable only for a form.
Submit button, submit command.
It's applicable only for a form, right?
Yes, yes, it's applicable only for the form. Okay, hope you got went through the video and you understood, right? Whenever you want to submit
Yeah.
a form,
Right.
right? Okay, you just put submit there, it will submit the form. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
The purpose of the submit is for submitting the form. Okay. Right. Correct. Is that clear? Rajkumar, it is clear?
Clear.
So only for submitting the form we have to use. No other purpose. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Shiva Kumar is asking me a question. Sir, all your manual testing videos are enough to work on project in real time. Yes, those are enough. All my manual testing videos are enough to work on the project. Yes, they are enough. More than enough. Okay. So I'll guide you, Shiva Kumar, as you're asking me the question, right? Because that manual testing module will take some time, right, to get started and all. If you are in a hurry, I'll guide you something, what you have to do initially and how you can save your time. I'll show you, Shiva Kumar. Just see here. So here we have this software testing related course. Where is that? Here, right? This is the course you are talking about on the YouTube channel. There are a good number of videos on this. So how to plan the learning of this software testing course? There are total 109 videos, but you don't have to initially plan for 109. Start with the session 1 and go till this live project series and all are there. Till where you can go? Till here. Till session 36, Rajkumar. Okay. Session 1 to session 36 you can learn. After session 36, you directly jump onto this part, that is Jira part. Okay. After Jira part, if you have time, then go with the other videos. Okay. That's the plan for you. That's the plan, Rajkumar. I think who has asked the question? Shivakumar, sorry. Shivakumar. Is that clear, Shivakumar? Is that clear for you? The plan? Up to 36 videos, 1 to 36 you go, and after that directly jump to Jira video. That will be enough. And after that you learn other stuff. Okay. That's the plan. That will save your time. Okay. In less time you can complete software testing. And anyhow, I'm going to teach you. Maybe if you are in a hurry, you can go through my videos and you can attend my sessions. Okay. Later also. Where we can get names of all classes and interfaces of Selenium. Okay. Rishi, you're asking me a question like, yes, in the official website of Selenium, you can go. Selenium.dev. And in Selenium.dev, we have this, downloads part. Go to the downloads page and go to the Selenium Java, this part, and API docs. So this is a place where you will get everything. Okay. You can search here and, a minute, overview. The way of documentation is different, but, they have changed the way. Okay. So you have to, inside this, these are all packages. Inside the packages, you will have classes and interfaces. Okay. From here, you have to get, or you can search here. For example, if you need WebDriver, let's say, search here, you'll get, it will take you to that WebDriver interface, or you want to go with Chrome driver class, Chrome driver. Okay. Chrome driver class. But you don't have to go with each and every interface and all those stuff because it's like a dictionary. Whenever you need something, you go and search for that. Okay. I don't recommend you learn everything from that library because it will be very big. Okay. Unnecessary stuff will be there. Okay. A lot of complex stuff will be there. Don't go with that. Whatever I'm teaching you, go with them. And if any additional things are required, then go and search there in that documentation, you will get it. Okay. Yes, right. Selenium dot correct. Yes, right. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions you guys have from today's session? I'll share you all this code. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can leave, guys, and I'll just meanwhile I'll do my things like the Telegram group. I'll put all the messages, notes, and all those stuff. If you have any questions, you can ask me still. Meanwhile. It's our batch. today's notes and code I have to share. Today's code. Yeah, thank you, Rajkumar. Welcome. Sure. See you tomorrow, Rishi. Yeah, Balu and Pawan, do you have any other questions?
Sir, I wanted to talk.
Okay, after the meeting, right? Okay, Balu, you have
Yes.
anything?